Would you like some rage fuel? Let's talk about the Radium Girls. Hello, I'm Sinead from the Poisonous Cabinet podcast. In 1924, several workers at US Radium Corporation started falling ill around the same time, and their symptoms were quite bizarre. They were experiencing terrible toothache. They were also having terrible pain in their bones, their joints. They were suffering from signs of anemia, going to the dentist, having teeth pulled, but then the wounds that were left were not healing. In fact, they formed abscesses. One woman named Molly Madger went to the dentist several times over the course of 6 months. On her last visit, the dentist reached into her mouth and he found that her jaw crumbled at his touch. In the end, he was able to lift the entire jaw clean out of her mouth. What was causing their ailments? Well, you may have guessed it. It was radium. Radium had been discovered in 1898 and was not only being lauded as a miracle cure for everything because it could kill cancer cells, it also glowed, which made it very, very trendy. Radium was all the rage. Seriously, there were so many products on the market claiming to have radium in them. Butter, chicken feed, jock straps. These women had been hired by US Radium to work in their factories. They would be using luminescent paint containing, yes, you've guessed it, radium, to paint the faces on watches, clocks, and military instruments. These factory girls were not only using the paint every single day, they were also eating quite a lot of it because they used a method called lip pointing. Using very fine brushes to do the painting, they would sharpen the tips using their lips. Not only that, the girls were actively encouraged to paint their nails, their teeth, their faces, their outfits. The male scientists who were working with radium at the corporation had plenty of protective wear and safety equipment. The girls, nothing. But it would be several years before the symptoms of radium poisoning would show up. The trouble was, people didn't understand what radium poisoning was. The only thing with similar symptoms was phossy jaw, the condition that had affected match workers in factories in the 1800s working with white phosphorus. US Radium Corporation, of course, did absolutely everything in their power to deny that they had anything to do with their sickness. They were very happy to spread rumors that the girls had died of syphilis. They said this was clearly a case of phossy jaw, but we don't have any phosphorus in our factory, so they must have been playing with phosphorus somewhere else. When a team of experts from Harvard came to do an investigation on the factory and found that it was completely unsafe and that the girls were all suffering from radium poisoning, US Radium took that report, rewrote it entirely, making out that their factory was absolutely safe and delivered it to the health authorities in New Jersey. It would take 5 women 2 years to build a case and take US Radium to court. The girls were so sick they couldn't even raise their hands. They ended up settling out of court with the corporation because they seriously thought they wouldn't last. Other factories were ignoring the information, burying it, not telling their workers, all just to make more money, more profit. You can listen to the full story of the Radium Girls on episode 233 of our podcast.